Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're able to see me and hear my voice. Can someone respond? My voice is audible or not?
Sir, it is audible.
Okay, thank you. So, yeah, I welcome you for this cybersecurity essentials awareness presentation or cyber workshop. So, yesterday we have gone through some of the important areas. Yes, still members are joining, so we will take a review before all the members come into the presentation. Okay, so yesterday we had a review, we had topics on related to networking. Last 3 days, in fact, we were going through many important topics on networking essentials. So we initiated with, once again, I'll mute my phone. So we had initiated with what we call as introduction to networking, and then we also gone through the, protocols. OSA layers we have gone through, and TCP/IP. The most important thing was TCP/IP and its protocols. So that was done on day one, and then day two we have gone through. LAN and WAN essentials. Along with that, we also learned about protocols. Many protocols we have learned, routing protocols. Some of the important protocols which are RIP, or maybe we have even demonstrated RIP. We have done on EAGR. We have learned about the other networking protocols. We also learned about TCP/IP, the header of TCP/IP, the header of UDP, and of course IP addressing format and how IP addressing is done. And of course, yesterday we have learned about, we started with the switching. So in switching also, we have gone through layer 2 switching. And then we learned about the protocols like VLAN as well as VTP. VLAN as well as VTP. Yes, members. I'm admitting. Okay. And we did an experiment on the switching also, how VLANs are created and how trunking is basically helping the VLAN information to enhance the information, VLAN information to other switches. We also learned about yesterday the functions of switch, of course, along with that functions of router also. So address learning and packet switching, packet forwarding or filtering. And then of course the third one is loop avoidance. So these are the three areas how we have described this switching. So also I had shared all these three video recordings in the shared drive. I hope the members who are unable to attend the class, I think they are going through, and it's very, very important, those terminology which we are speaking across. And of course, I also shared the interview questions. I hope you are going through with those questions. Anyway, we'll have a review of some of them, not completely, because I have shared more than 100 plus questions. So hope that you are well going through with all the questions. Any type of questions may come, especially if the questions are coming from networking. So anyway, we are continuing with the cyber security. So yesterday we also saw about IPv6 version 6, how it is done. Of course, the new generation IP addressing. So which is again something which is very, very new enhanced features of V6 also we saw. And then we learned about ACL and NAT. So all the documentation also I have shared along with the share drive. So hope you can download it at your convenience, and then please go through all the important information of slides or anything. So if you have any questions, yes, you can ask now before I start my next module, which comes under cyber security. So last 3 days we were focusing on what we call as networking essentials. From today onwards, our agenda we will shift towards cyber security. So the next week's time, we will be focusing on cyber security. Of course, keeping in background that if you have any questions in networking, you can ask at any point of time. Okay, so please go through the contents and ask me questions. Even now, if you have any questions, please do ask me now. I have my chat box open. Please do ask so that I can give some kind of what we call as answers. Yeah, any questions from anyone? So, okay, I think if you, yeah, there is one question from Debjit. Yes, in IPv6, we shifted from ARP to NDPY. See, I'm not very sure about this answer, but yes, it is an enhanced version, I believe. Enhanced version. It also comes under ARP only. ARP is common in TCP/IP. That is a network layer protocol. In V6, we have some enhancements. If we go through, I mean, in V6 header, not V4 header. We have only covered V4 header. In V6 header, the header length is not as specified by 20 bytes or 24 bytes, including like that. It has much more. So there are some enhanced features also. Like if you see about what we call as the header contents, like the network address of source, network address of destination will be in 128 bits. So naturally there are some enhancements. Because of that, they have, it's not shifted basically, it is an enhanced. Okay, it is an enhanced, but the basic purpose is same. Basic purpose is same, because the purpose is like you need to keep the MAC address in safe, and then need to communicate with IP address, logical addressing. Okay, so for that we have this ARP. Okay, is this clear? I do not want to discuss more on NDP, but definitely it is an enhanced version of what you call as the ARPs. What is the use of checksum field in IPv4 and why not? I think it's present in V6 also. Checksum field is always there. Okay, in V6 also we have. If you see, I'll just share my desktop and then we will. I didn't cover, but this thing should be there. If you see, like once again, if you go to IPv6 header, you should have all those things also. It doesn't, I mean, like you see, there is this. The source address, the destination address, all these things are there. Extension headers are there. It should be there. Everything will be there. It has an enhanced format which is there. It is an enhanced format, like version, TTL, and all this in protocol should be there. Should be there. Hop is always maximum of 255. The source address has been changed to 128 bit. Destination is 128 bit, which is enhanced. And you can see there are multiple header codes which are there. You see here. So anyway, IPv6 is the next generation one. You can think about that. Okay. So anyway, where are we? Yeah. Any other question? Where is my chat box? Okay, so nothing much more focus on this particular one, but all fields of V4 are present in V6, but in an enhanced manner. Nothing more. Still more, like you can say, even the subnet information also is there in the V6 header. A little bit more topics also are covered, but I didn't cover much about subnet. The very reason is subnets is a little bit deeper inside. But only if you ask me, in a nutshell, I can say that subnets are nothing but a part of your networks, a part of your networks. So yesterday someone was asking what is the difference between the VLAN and subnets. When subnets are there, why should we use VLAN? The only answer is that subnets, yes, we can have, a large network dividing into pieces we call as subnets. So it requires the skill of, the IP addressing skill, the subnetting skill, and all these things are required. The very reason why we are moving to VLAN is the port security is very high. It is hardware oriented. You have to basically set the port from the hardware. IP means you can simply take the laptop to another network, the same IP will be there, and then again he can access from a different location also. Sometimes client may not accept that, changing of position from one location to another location. So that is the reason why we use VLANs. Otherwise, you can make use of subnets also. And in subnets, the only another disadvantage is like there will be some number of IPs will be wasted. Subnets will work, only in power of 2. Suppose if someone wants 300 IPs, what is the nearest to power of value? Nearest to 300 is only 512 because it has crossed 2 power 8 is 256 and 2 power 9 is 512. So even if you want 300 also, you have to give 512. So 250, around 200 to 212 IPs will be wasted. Like if some customer wants about 600 for their network, still we have to give 1024. So there will be huge wastage of IPs over there. That is one reason. And the other reasons is port security. Port security means in VLAN's port security, customer can log in from remotely into your switch. That is what which I was saying yesterday, managed switches. Managed switches means he can log in and manage like we did it yesterday. He can log in remotely and then he can control whether he wants to disable the VLANs or he can even change the port status to disabled or whatever it is, so that the persons can not access from to their resources remotely also. So this is why where switching is our VLANs are most popularly being used. Even if you see many organizations, not only our IT organizations, even your college also has number of VLANs rather than subnetting.
Sir,
So yeah.
so one of my friend is waiting in waiting room, sir. Can you please let him?
Yeah. See, someone can take this role. Where is this? Where is this? Okay. Someone can take this as a co-host. Who is? Can someone chat me to take the co-host? Can someone respond so that I can make them co-host so that I can focus more on the technicalities? Okay, Rohit, I'll make Rohit. Okay, thanks, Rohit. That's fine. So now, yeah, okay, yeah, now, where am I? Whether VLANs or, subnetting. So that is why the very reason subnetting is a bit what we call as it has to go to the router and basically search for the protocol, which protocol is there. There is some kind of what we call as algorithm. One of the algorithm which we spoke is RIP, which uses distance vector, which we spoke yesterday also. And there are other type of algorithms. We already spoke about UL. This is diffused update algorithm in EIGRP. In OSPF, you have this linked state algorithm. So algorithm should define all the things, and then it should multicast the tables, and then you will be finally reaching the destination. So in that way, you have to do a little bit longer time will is required. And since the port security is much higher security than subnetting, we normally prefer VLANs at a local area network level. If it is in basically like if different departments or different divisions or maybe different networks, then if there are any routing also is needed between one network to another network, we may use subnets. But this is very easy. This is very much secured. Okay, that's those all these things we have spoken. Yeah, see, in interviews also you may be asked in V6 questions about what is the length of V6 IP, that is I mean 128-bit, and also you may be asked certain things how V6 will really be enhanced or helpful for the current I mean networking technologies. So where V6 are sorry, where V6 are much widely used. You can tell the upcoming like mobile technologies or mobile clients or many new startup companies or whoever launches okay end computing. So all these areas we use mostly the V6 kind of networking. I mean V6 kind of networking. But whereas your server computing, of course, your web computing and all these things we use V4 mostly. We use V4 mostly. Okay. Yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Any other question? So these all are the areas which we spoke last 3 days, and also I had circulated this questionnaire also. I hope you have gone through. Where are the questions? I think these are the questions which we have. Any questions from any one of the members? So the terminology is very much important in some of the things. Some things you can ignore it. If there are highly technical, see, as I said, this workshop is basically essentials, the most commonly used and for mostly for the interview point of view. But if you want to know in detail, I can suggest some books or I can share some books. But you ping me privately, but I cannot share and distribute the books universally. Okay, if you ask me, then I can suggest some books, or you can go through as part of the references and really learn all the technologies, a little bit in detail. See, like this, what is NIC? This type of abbreviations also are asked. So please go through net. That is nothing but your network card. The simple terminologies like your network card. And also I have added some more questions. If the same thing I had sent or not, I do not know. Last year we have added some questions of September 2019. You can see that some more interview questions which popularly people ask. Like you can see what is a gateway. We spoke about this one. They'll not say what is gateway or router. They'll say what is a gateway. You can say a router. Okay. So like popularly we have our internet gateways at our home. Okay. Okay, name the factors that affect performance. I may ask these questions during the mock also. So get prepared by the time. Get prepared. Okay. So mock interviews are very important. So that prepares you for readiness of the interview. Readiness of the interviews. Okay. So we spoke about subnet just now, a generic term for a large network usually separated by a router. Normally, don't say as a bridge, by a router, mostly by a router. Okay. So what does it do? It divides larger networks to smaller networks. We spoke about MAC, we spoke about multiplex. These are all communications. Okay. Some communications essentials also are very important for you. We spoke about redundancy. Redundancy is a fail safe. Yeah, someone is asking about correction. Why should we have this correction in this? What we call as IP header. Okay. So naturally, otherwise the packet integrity will not be correct. Packet integrity will not be happening. What if like 1 byte or 1 bit is tampered or corrupted, so that the integrity will be checked at the destination. So that's why in the header, whether it is TCP or UDP, we will be using this checksum. Okay, checksum is nothing but a kind of packet reliability. Okay, so yeah, it is written here a kind of checksum. So checksum is important. Only with checksum only they'll come to know. Like suppose if I write a letter to you, and if I write inside at the top of the cover or from first page, I will say that this letter contains about 10 pages. And if you receive only 7 pages, what will you do? 7 and 10 is not the data. It is basically the checksum. So, oh, yes, you said that only 10 pages, but I received only 7 pages. What happened to the other 3 pages? In that way, the receiver will come and ask. So, in that, they'll come to know in that particular answer. So, here, what is CSMA? What do you mean by Bluetooth? Bluetooth is also a type of layer 2 communication. Okay, a wireless LAN technology. You can see, you can go through for a small distance and lower speeds, not as giga speeds. Okay, what is an IP address? What do you mean by? Okay, what is firewall? Yesterday we spoke about firewall. Yeah, someone is asking. What is a repeater? What is bridge? What is ICMP? Mostly you can expect such type of single line questions only. FDM. Okay, so just go through this one. TDM, time division multiplexing, how it is been. Okay, these are something error detection and error correction. We discussed on the very first day. Protocols in the application layer. Not only four, we have discussed more with their numbers also. Transport layer. What do you mean by client server model? What is telnet? We spoke about telnet also. We spoke about hypertext transfer protocol, World Wide Web, beckoning, RAID, NetBIOS. NetBIOS is basically a programming interface, okay, which is sits at the bottom layer, and which more or less it will help to create the networking structure basically completely remote. It has some networking hardware. Okay, so major type of networks, that is server based and peer-to-peer based. Okay, topology, we spoke about that. Burst topology, star topology, ring topology, and also hybrid topologies also are there. Okay, so not only that, please go through. We'll have a review of all these things. We also spoke about the classification of IPs, private IPs. Please remember, they may ask you. I think last year they have asked about private IPs also. The range. Some people were unable to tell correctly, so you can think about that. Some DNS, yes, DNS is also one of the important. We will be speaking today. Okay, about DNS also. So now these are some few questions which are especially I'm requesting everyone to prepare during the mock, maybe 9th or 10th day, which is there. We'll be focusing on just a second. I'll Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, so this is all about essentials about networking, but the main focus now we are moving towards like cyber security. Cyber security is something, a security part of networking. So till now we understood about the networking components, how networking really works, protocols, switches, the infrastructure we have saw, and also how the networks are being really working across. See, there are many other areas also in networking where you can really enhance. Like if you are good enough in understanding the packets and all those things, you can take up this packet Wireshark or something like kind of things, projects, and do across. You can dump the packets inside the Wireshark. I'll be showing you in cybersecurity, and you can even analyze also the packets. Layer one, how it is, or sorry, layer one means I mean the access layer, how it is. In network layer, how it becomes. In transport layer, how this what you call as TCP and UDP segments, how it comes. I'll be showing you, because these are the tools which are used in cyber security, which will enhance your network understanding also. Okay, so so I'll be moving ahead to this cyber security introduction, and then please attend regularly full time. See, there is some request I personally make. So don't worry about interviews or something like that. Learn for the knowledge sake. Interviews will automatically will get selected. the other persons will not have any choice other than to select you. I'm telling you, if you are technically sound. And you should have, how you will be technically sound until unless you have confidence enough of what you are speaking. So in that way, your approach should be there. So that is why I'm taking even the practicals. Otherwise, the whole thing I could have shown you in a PPT format and then finished off. But this one will be helpful at any point of the domain. I'll tell you, any point. You may be coding expert or you may be doing something else also. But the cyber security and this cloud and this type of artificial intelligence, these things will be throughout your career. At some point you have to work with the people, some sort of people, in order to gain some information. You wrote the code, but you don't know what are all the vulnerabilities which are there. So how do you know that? So you have written for a month's time, but the clients may reject the code saying that no, this code is vulnerable. So if you know beforehand itself, you will really write a code from periodically, from time to time, and see that there are no vulnerabilities before it is deployed into the client system. So these are some of the things. Many network administrators or many software engineers who do deploy the complete system, but they don't know what vulnerability is. We were not taught all these things. We don't know all these things. We only know how to write the code. We only know how to deploy the network. But what is a vulnerability? How to do that analysis? How to fix those things? There will be no one else who will be fixing up. It is again you, the designer or the developer, only has to fix up. Only thing, there can be a tester who will test that there are vulnerabilities or not. He will test and he will give it back to you. So again, it has to be fixed. So this is called as rework. And it is this, any type of exercises with rework is highly risky. So that is the reason why your college management has thought that wherever you are, in whichever organization you are, two objectives as basics. So one is to get a good responsible, good opportunity in the IT industry, and second thing is that you can have a longevity of the technicalities. That is the reason. Even the areas where I worked, I saw a number of people working on technology, but they don't know the basics. So ultimately they have to hear the music at some point of the other. So in order to avoid such type of things, just be patient for the next 1 week's time. You will learn many things. It will be more and more interesting. As I said that I have been working in cybersecurity for the past, at least 6 or 7 years. So along with this, around more than 2000 plus engineers have been certified under my guidance. So please take up. Your interest will definitely help me a lot. Help me a lot. Okay, so now let me start with today's assignments will be mostly starts with cyber security concepts, and also we will discuss about vulnerabilities and threats. Vulnerabilities and threats. Today's date is 22.10. So these two will be today's objective. So sometimes you may say that no, I have already a job with me and no need for me this type of things. My role doesn't carry all this. Listen, technology is always fourfold. I mean to say that whatever technology you are, you have to gain some kind of awareness in other areas also. Otherwise, somewhere or the other, you'll be cornered. So that is the reason. And cybersecurity is a very, very fast growing domain and highly paid domain also. And high attention is there in these particular areas. Gone are those days, earlier days. They used to spend only for technology and leaving all the vulnerabilities. But today, whatever is the technology, whatever is the product coming, it has to bind the networking rules. It has to bind. It is a top up only on internet or intranets only. So naturally, whether it is an app or whether it is what you call as a software or application, it has to bind with all the networking technologies. So please focus. These are my sincere requests from me, and make sure that you are gaining much knowledge within the least 7 days, next 7 days which we have. Okay, and keep your questionnaires also whenever we have the chat box. Yes, you can ask me the questions. Let me start with the security concepts. So in the security concepts, before I start about security concept, I have one question to all of you. Like, we are using internet at least for the past 10 years, maybe in 7th standard or 6th standard or maybe lesser than that. Today, even a 2nd standard person also is using internet. Without that, he will not even wake up also. In that way, today's world is there. So apps like WhatsApp or Facebook or many other apps we are using, everything is binded across internet. So you know that internet, how many users are there internet? Because earlier were the days of million, but today we are more than billion users are there across the world. So you can imagine that how much internet has been spread. But I'll ask a question now. Who is owning the internet? Who is the person? Which company is owning the internet? Or which country is owning the internet? Or which firm is owning the internet? Or how internet is governed? Or how the internet is governed? Yeah, someone can answer in the chat box, or they can even unmute the microphone and then specify. Yeah, who? That much large enterprise internet has, with thousands and millions of websites, and who basically owns?
Decentralized networks.
Hmm? Decentralized means, see, there are protocols, there are rules, but who manages all these things? There should be something regulatory also should be there. If you are doing some mischief, who will catch you? Is this the Andhra Pradesh police or US federal, police? Who will catch you? If there is no fear, then everyone will do all type of mischief.
Sir, as far as I know, there's a thing called, World Wide Web is there, and there are 7 keys that are distributed all across the globe, which can turn off the internet.
That is basically 7 servers, or whatever you say, that 13 root servers, which has the data of internet. But who is managing the internet? Who is managing the domain servers? Who? Under whose control it is? How the internet is distributed across? Is there any? So till yesterday we were learning about IP address. So who basically manages the IP address? You know that one IP address is given to one server, the same IP, if it is given to another server, both things will not work. It's called as collision. It is duplicates. It won't work. So who basically takes care of all these things? There are hundreds and thousands of service providers also. Who basically, to whom the service providers report to?
IEEE organization.
Sorry?
IEEE organization.
IEEE, as I said, it is only layer 2. They don't have any IP address space. They don't come into that picture. They only come into the technologies like Wi-Fi, wireless, or maybe Bluetooth, or fiber optic distribution, or something like WiMAX, cell towers, etc. That's all they do. They don't come into the IP picture at all. They don't even define all those things.
So maybe a robustly built technology that is self-handling everything.
Did you ever heard about that robotic technology?
No, sir, robust means it can solve its own problems.
Yeah.
It's built so
Where is that
perfect that.
located? Where is that located? What happens if there's something, there is an outage to that technology? Is it not distributed across the whole world?
Tell us the answer, sir.
I'll tell. Did we not do such type of questions? See, if you want to know the answer, you have to learn the cybersecurity completely. Then only the security comes into the concept. Yeah, I can tell you. Where is this chat?
Sir, is it INA?
Sorry, once again.
Internet Assigns Number Authority.
Yeah, that's what which I am looking for. There is a concept called as INA, IANA. Okay. So if you go to the website called as INA, I'll show you. Not this. INA.org, IANA.org. Okay. So this is basically the overall governance of internet. Complete internet has two functionalities. One is to manage the IP address space, the complete IP address space across the globe of internet servers. That is the DNS root servers also. That includes root servers also. Okay. So once again, I'm saying they have two functionalities. One is to manage the address space and domains, the root domains which are there. Okay. The second one is it also has a regulatory. If anyone does any mischief, just kick them off. That IP will be blacklisted. So they have both. So you can see this particular one. You can see this ina.org, which is there on your dashboard. You can see this domain names. The new domain name, whatever is the domain names, whether it is com or org.edu, all these things are managed this one. So INA is a very, very large and distributed across the globe. So it cannot do it alone. So what they have done is INA is distributed into 6 major I mean, which we call as RIRs. It's not 6, I think it is 5. It's 5. I'll show you. Yeah, it is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. INA is Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. You can see this one. INA stands for Internet Assigned Numbers Authority. They play with all the numbers, with all IP addressing. You can see this one. Global coordination of DNS root servers, IP addressing, and anything related to Internet Protocol resources. All these things, INA has the functionality. Okay. So now I will show you how this IP address space is being managed. So if you take this world map, you can see this world map. In this world map, it is divided into 5 zones. That zone is also called as RIR. RIR means Regional Internet Registry. Okay, Regional Internet Registry. So the major one you can see is the blue color, North America, which is RN. That is one area. RN means American region. Okay, RN completes American and Canadian. So these two, not Mexico. Mexico comes under South, LACNIC. Okay, so this is the first and largest one. Second, you can see the purple color, which is APNIC. APNIC is nothing but Asia Pacific. So the entire Asia plus you can see the Oceanica, like Australia, New Zealand is also. So this INA is distributed across in this way. The first one, even the second one, maybe APNIC or RIPE. RIPE is nothing but Europe. Entire Europe comes into the picture, that yellow color. Okay, that is the third. Second and third. The fourth one is LACNIC. LACNIC is Latin America. Latin America and Mexico. These two countries will come into LACNIC. And the fifth one is, which is having a very low bandwidth, I mean very low resources, which is Afrinic, which is the entire Africa. So in this way, these are called as RIR, Regional Internet Registry. Now coming into the picture. You see this APNIC is there here. So this APNIC, if you say that this is one of the RIR. In this RIR, you can go in this particular way. If you want apnic.net, so you can go to this particular website also. You can go into this. Every RIR has their own regional internet registry. Suppose if Reliance or BSNL or maybe Airtel or whoever wants, these are all service providers. So they get the IP space from this APNIC, from the RIRs, So what does APNIC contains? Now first let us understand about the IPv4 address space. So yesterday we spoke about public IP, private IP also. So here if you scroll down, you can see this IPv4 address space, how it is managed. You'll later on appreciate that how systematically this internet is organized. Do you think that there is something which is there on the road so that all the traffic is going without accidents? No, there should be rules. Without rules, there is nothing which is going to. Internet that has become very, I mean, it is there in every area, every place, in every device. So you can imagine that how systematically it should be organized. Okay, when you see this IPv4 address space, I'm just clicking. Okay, right from, if you take the first octet of every IP address, it is assigned to every region. It is very clear which region should take what IPs are very clear. Like if it starts from 0, it is an INA local identification, leave it. If any IP starting from 1 dot something is APNIC, 2 dot something, it's RIPE. Like I said, 10 is private use. This is called a private IP. Okay, so it is reserved. It cannot be given to anyone. This is local area network IP. 11 DOD, 12 is assigned to AT&T. Okay, 14 is again APNIC. Okay, like this you can keep on going through. Suppose if I want to know, okay, like if I say my IP address, IPv4 address. I want to know what is my v4 address. Okay, so my IP address is so and so. It's coming even v4. It's not detected. I have a v6 address. Anyway, if I have a v4, I'll easily trace that. I can easily trace that. Okay. Otherwise, I have to explain the v4 chart. Otherwise, I'll take up in this particular way CMD command prompt. I know an address space. Like if I say ping www.google.com, I can say or ping -4, which will display me. So now in this is Google IP 142.250.76.80.68. See the first octet. See the first octet. It starts from 142. Go to the chart, and you can easily understand where 142 is. 142 is administered by RN. Is RN means this particular google.com, that particular IP is managed, or that server is in RN. I mean in that particular zone. Like I can tell you more. If I say google.in, let me see. Okay, you can see this particular google.in. It stands like it starts from 172. Let me explore this 172, where it belongs to. Okay, this one also the servers, even if it is 172 also, it is, I mean, administered by RN. If it is 171, it is APNIC. If it is 171, it is APNIC. Like, one second. If I have any IP, can someone tell your IP address? Just IP. How do you know your IP? You can tell simple, like maybe www or in google.com. In google.com, my IP address. Just say that my IP address. If you are getting a v4 address, tell me. It makes me simple for explanation. Yeah, some IP. I'll tell who is your service provider and all the details. Just tell your IP, my IP address.
In the chat, they pasted, sir.
Okay, that's good. See, yeah, now I see many of you have kept this IP address. That's good. So I'll take this one of the IP 123. Meanwhile, you can also see along with this. Okay, where is this? Okay, where is my chat box? Okay, see here 123 is there. You see this 123, just scroll down. You can definitely tell it should be APNIC only. It should be APNIC only because you are from Asia Pacific. Okay, so similarly everyone can see it will be in APNIC only. You see this 49. You see this 49. It should be in APNIC only. APNIC 49. Okay, so I will copy one of the address. So if your IP belongs to APNIC, go to APNIC. Go to APNIC. I have already given you the website, and just copy paste this particular IP address of what you are getting, public IP. Okay, and say search. You will know all the details of your service provider. You will know all the details of your service provider. You can see here, this belongs to Act FiberNet, Act Hyderabad. Okay, is it clear? It is legacy. It is legacy. Okay, so just see this one. Just see this one. So not only that, you'll get the information about your service provider also. So what is the range of IPs which he has? So you got one IP 225.182. So you see this. He has a range of, I mean, 224 to 227. That means 4 into 256. That is 1024 IPs. He has public IPs. Act Hyderabad. So, and then you can also see that what is the technical details, address, registered address, and all the other things. If there is any complaint, to whom it has to be there in the internet. It has to be there. If there is any problem, these people needs to pick up. Okay, and it is addressed by, and also up to what date and time this registration of IP is valid to also will be available in this particular one. Okay, I'll search something else also. You can give this 123 dot. Let me see. what is this, who is the tool which is there at the top. Okay, you can give the IP address and say search, you can see this one, this is U Telecom, and the address space they have is from 123.201, 240 to 255. That is one full 16 into 256, which comes to 4096 public IPs they have. 4096. They have the contact details, whoever was the thing. Now you could figure out, everyone.
Sir, so the number of IPs we can have is finite.
I could get you. You have one IP from your service provider, right?
No, sir. I mean, is there? I mean, because IPs are only limited to a number. Are they finite?
Yes, it's finite. They have to buy. Your service provider buys the IP address space from APNIC, right? The very idea is that APNIC will not give them free. Will not give them free. They have to buy the address space, and then they will be giving it to the local area. When you are accessing a net, then they will be giving you an IP till the time you are working across internet. Once you have disconnected the internet, the IP is lost and it may be given to someone else. Is this clear? So, but at least your service provider is known by the global IP, where the server is located, who is managing the server, and who is the contact details of that particular IP. Is this clear? Yeah, any questions, please ask.
Sir, you said INA manages the entire internet. Then why does dark web and deep web exist? So why can't it just take it off?
See, I do not know about the other things, about how they get the information again from INA only. They have the space of, they have their own websites. Even you can also build a website and give those informations. That is secondary. But the primary ones is INA manages the complete address space. They have the data. They can, the other people who are there may be associated with them and get the information. All right? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear? So these service providers are also called as LIR. So as I said that APNIC is RIR, APNIC or what we call a LACNIC or maybe RIPE or maybe IRIN. These are called as RIR, and these RIRs have LIRs. LIRs is local internet registry. Local internet registry. This is how the entire IP address space is monitored. And see something, if you have an IP, I'll tell you one important thing here. Now you have pasted your IP, okay? You have pasted your IP. With that IP itself, even if you send some mail or anything, any type of, even in Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever it is, your IP can be traced very easily from where the message has come. So from that IP, I can figure out who is the service provider. That is secondary, that's second thing. Once if I figure out the service provider, at so and so timestamp, at so and so date, who is using, without yourself getting registered to the RIR, they will not give you internet, first of all. Whether it is a browsing center or whether it is your mobile phone or anything, you have to provide your details. Without details, no one is going to give you internet. No one. It's not, even though it is college, means college has details and they registered in the, in the RIR region. Okay. So like this, what are the details which they ask? The person's name and also the identity like Aadhaar or something like that. Without that, they will not give you internet. If something crime happens, how they detect whether it is a website or a mail or anything, they first figure out what is the IP. Once if they come to know the IP, later on I'll show you, even for email also, every email has an IP from where it is coming. Okay. So once if you know the IP, your service provider is easily traced out. And your service provider has the record of each and every, I mean, at what time you have logged in and what time you have disconnected, at all the incidents also will be there, and what is the username which has been connected to. So when they come to know that this IP is used by so-and-so person who is sitting in Visakhapatnam, that information will be given to the department who is basically taking the law. So in that way, they come to know the information, everything. We may think that internet is free, it is available everywhere, no one is doing anything, but everything is monitored silently. Everything is known, everything is recorded. And if by chance, if service provider says that no, I will not provide the records, immediately he'll be terminated, especially from the legal department. They ask, they have to provide, and it is available for them even in the form of archives for at least 2 to 3 years. So they have each and every connection records. Okay, so this is how I'm just saying that the IPs are very well monitored. It has the information, each and everything. Please go through. Since ours is APNIC, we are going through APNIC. But if you want to go for RN, you can go for rn.net and then see the IP address space where it is there. Suppose if I say, as I have shown you just now, like google.com is there. See, it is 142 dot. You can see this. This is google.com, and we can easily figure out that this one is from sorry, one second, this one is from RN. Okay, so now let me figure out who is the service provider of that particular IP address, or who basically in which data center or whatever it is. Okay, so I can go to RN IP, who is, you can say RN IP, who is .rn.net. Okay, so here you have the who is. Just provide the IP address and say enter. Okay, you can see this is Google. The name itself is Google. And how many IPs are there? You can see this. Oh, they have 255 into 255 into 2. That is 32,000 IP address they have. They have 32,000 IP address they have. Public IP address space. You see this, all the things, direct allocation, Google LLC managed by, and these are all the details of the team. You can see their, all the postal code numbers are there, their phone numbers are there, network abuse phone numbers are there, email IDs are there, everything, all data is in contact. Okay, and you can see this is available in, I think, CA, right? Okay, California. This Google data center is there in California. In this way, what I say is try to understand the IP space, public IP internet space across the globe by going into different, then you will understand the public space, how it is distributed. So the only thing what you need to understand here is that go to, what is this? Go to this INA website. Please understand this one. If you want IPv6, you have even IPv6 address space also. Just go back and then try to click IPv6 address space. You will get that also. You see this one, address space of this particular one. So when I say my IP address is, like I can, who is my IP address, I can get that also. Okay. So my IP is in V6, so that's why I'm getting in, but still I can do that V6. The only thing which is difference is here it starts from 2405. Okay, so the same thing we can ask here also in internet. What is that? 2405. Just to go through, maybe in the other pages 2402. Okay, global unicast. I think unicast. This one, or you can even paste in your what is this INA, in your APNIC directly, apnic.net. Let me see if I'm getting V6 also, who is other than V4. My IP address is this. Copy and maybe APNIC. Say enter. Okay, still it is saying, you can see this, it is Reliance Jio. Okay, you could see this one also, whether it is V4 or V6, it doesn't bother, it doesn't matter. You can see this, these are all the, Reliance Jio's data and details and their information. Okay, I hope you have sufficient information now on IPv4 or V6 address space of internet. And now coming back to the domains. In INA. I'm still going to the INA website. Go to the root INA. So here you see this root zone domain management. So to have this address space managed across the complete globe, we have about 13 root servers which are there. We call it root servers. Okay. So there is a short notes also. Please note down. So this is what which I was saying. INA, RIR and LIR. These are all LIR reports to RIRs. We spoke about private domain, private IP addressing yesterday itself. 10 is not at all available in public domain space. 172.16 to 172.31. See, they may ask this type of questions also. What is private addressing? You should be able to. What is the address space? They may give you paper and pen and ask you to write, or they may ask you at least tell what is the 172 range or 192 range. Okay, so please this one. Now coming to the next important one, which is the root servers. 13 root servers are there. You can see this one, the root zone management. Okay, the database. You can see the list of even servers also of all various domains which are there, whether it is .in or something like this. You see, these are all, I need not explain, it is self-explanatory. So any new domain which has to come, it has to come from INA only. Why? Why it has to come from INA? Because they manage the root domain servers. They manage the root domain servers. And there are about 13 root domain servers which are there. 13 root domain servers. I will show you the server details also if there are. Okay, INA Google INA root domain servers. Okay, there are 13 as of currently now root servers. We also call it root servers. You see this one? INA domain root server. There are 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A.root, B.root, C.root up to N. 13. As of now, it is 13. It may increase again if the load increases. And all you see this, all the servers are not located in one zone. Some can be in RIPE, some can be in US, some can be in any other zones also. The very idea of having the root domain servers is to open up the root domains. You can see these are root domains which are there. Okay, these are all the root zone database which are there. So any new, .in or that something which needs to come across, these root domain servers only manage. And this is what which INA also does. They open up this one and rest of the names you buy it across with this particular root domain servers. Is this clear? Is this clear? Please understand this one. This INA topic is very, very important for us to understand the hacking concept. These hackers first, they should understand how internet is basically organized. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Yeah, any questions? Okay, so anyway, no questions are there. So now what I'm going to describe is like I will also tell you, okay, no questions. I'll also tell you about the protocols. These are networking protocols. You know that there are about 256 maximum protocols. That is the space in IPv4 which you have maximum of 256 protocols. Some of the protocols which we have discussed is RIP, AGRP, or many other the IGP. Okay, so even BGP or EGP, those all these things also. Of course, we also discussed about the TCP header can hold up to maximum ports of 65536, that is 64K ports. A port can be UDP because we have 16 bits allocated for TCP or UDP. IP source port and destination port can be 16 bits. That is 2 power 16 comes to about 65536 ports maximum. Like every service is deployed in a system with help of port. Now I'll tell you why we are speaking all these things. Why we are speaking all these things. See, cybersecurity is all about this only. If you don't know about this IP range, ports, sorry, we may not be able to understand anything. Port is an entry or an exit point. I'll tell you the scenario. So how does a hacker come and hack your system? So in the classroom, you should behave like a hacker, but outside you should behave like an ethical hacker. The difference between hacker and ethical hacker is only simple. It is not written across your face or it's not certified anything. The way you react or the way you have, the thoughts which is there. If it is something which is constructive, then it is called as ethical. If it is something destructive, any thoughts, don't think that all the police people or all the people who are working in CBI or FBI are ethical. It's not like that. Ethical will be always there in their actions. Okay. So I'll tell you one more important thing also. 60% of hacking does internally only. 60%. That is what which records say that. So especially if you want to become an ethical hacker, you have to behave, you have to think in both angles. No, 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 no. Those people are internally only, they will not hack. Nothing like that. There can be possibility that because of any reasons, he may not get promotion, or he may not get rewards, or he might not have been given proper importance in the organization, or something like that. He will try to do some damage, So anything can happen, like this. So what they do certain type of damages. And how to investigate those damages? This is again a cyber security. The things which are there, if you throw it something onto a monitor or something, it will break. Then people will be watching the CC camera, then they can figure out, oh, you have broken. Those are physical damages. Okay, but how do you know that who has removed the log files, or who has removed, or who has changed the website's face, the first page or something like that? Any type of damages can be done. It's not only the root user can do. It is, those things are based on the weakness. Suppose if I call a kid, I'll give you a chocolate, you come along with me, he'll come. That is vulnerable. So that is a kind of thing. Even in the coding also, there are some vulnerabilities which are there, which we are going to learn all those things from time to time. Okay, so these topics will grow interesting more and more and more. But first thing is that the fundamentals of networking should be clear. Okay, now you know that this TCP/IP model contains all these 4 layers. Okay, we know all these things. Now let me tell you how this works. Hacker is hacking a system. How does he do? First, he will try to know what is your domain name. Okay, he will understand, okay, this is gitam.edu. Okay, that's fine. So what is the IP address base? Who is managing all these things? Okay, that is all what we call as the information gathering phase. So I'll also explain about the 5 phases of hacking also, but just a theoretical understanding about how the hacker comes and attacks your system. Then, okay, he will verify the website. His intention is not to hack your website. His intention is to gain entry into the website and see what are all the things, maybe a confidential document, or maybe something which is financial information, or maybe something related to what is a value kind of information, or something which is benefit for him, which he can really interact with other competitive companies or something like that. So in that way, he tries to, that is his intention. He wants to enter into your system. So how will he enter into the system? No one will give him password or username, first of all. No one will give. It is everything, secrecy is there. Then he will try to see the IP range. For each and every IP range, he will try to scan the system like a robber. How he robs into our house? He'll first come as a gentleman. He'll try to gain information by asking simple questions. I am new to this area. May I know what is this? May I know what is that? So and so. If you are good enough, you will give all the information. You'll give all the, and meanwhile he'll watch each and everyone in the house. Oh, who is wearing jewelry? Who is wearing who? Whether a dog is there, whether an old man is there. All these things he will figure out. And based on that, he'll also figure out, oh, there is a back door also, there is a side door also, which they doesn't open, which is not locked at any point of time. And he'll try to ask some more questions also, and then figure out something else. And then with the pakka plan, he'll come and then he'll attack your house. If there is nothing, no valuable or nothing is there, then he will not come into your house at any point of time. Same thing here also. For a hacker, he will only hack if there is some information. If it is a corporate government website, he will try to hack. Or if it is something like anything which is value, financial institution, he'll try to hack. Okay, if it is simply like some PDF documents, which is a website which is there, he doesn't want anything. Anyway, it is available. But he wants to attack the intranets. Some development codes may be there. Some production environment is there. Maybe it's a bank or something like that. He can get a financial gain or like that. So these are all various areas where he figures. So how he will enter? Like as I mentioned that there is a backdoor. There is a backdoor over there. Here also we have a backdoor. The term of backdoor is called as Trojan. Trojan. Any port which is left open without notice of the user. I'm speaking once again. Any port which is left out open unintentionally. They don't know that there is a port open. There is a house. There is a firewall. There is a wall. Wall contains the security where The other people cannot jump and come inside. If they want to come, they have to come from the main door. But if anyone is jumping and coming inside, he is called as an attacker. He is called as an attacker. Same thing here also. What will happen if there is no firewall, or if the firewall is not properly configured? Attackers come and see, based on the vulnerabilities, they come inside the house, I mean inside the website, and steal the information, whatever they like, whatever, or they can enter into the corporate network also and they can steal. That is how hacking happens. So now we have to learn about the port behavior also. So there are some scanning tools accordingly. So now before I start, I will just go through the phases of attack. You can see this one. Please make a note. Please understand, this is what which may be asked in your interviews also. There are 5 stages of ethical hacking. 5 stages of ethical hacking. The first stage you can see is reconnaissance phase. Reconnaissance phase is nothing but information gathering. So this is not hacking here. This is what we call as pre-hacking. The steps which is done before hacking is called as reconnaissance phase, pre-hacking. What at this particular point of time, what he does, the attacker or the hacker, he will only try to gain as much information as possible. We will do some couple of information gathering tools, okay, and also some social engineering. What is social engineering? It is a common type of attacks which happens currently. Hey, you are my best friend, can't you tell me your Facebook ID? Will we ask? You are my best friend, but still I want your Facebook ID, I want your Gmail ID. It is a common habit. If I ask, he will not tell. And if I ask, if he doesn't tell, and I'll feel bad. So what will I do? When he is typing the Facebook ID, I'll keep an eye on them. I'll keep an eye, secretly watching the password. So this is nothing but a social engineering. Or whenever you are typing Gmail password, I'll keep a shoulder surfing. I'll keep an eye from the top and watch all the things. It is a quite common thing. It is a quite common thing. Most of the people try to gain information without their consent. This is called as social engineering. So this type of attacks are quite common. What is that they are going to gain? It may be monetary happiness or something information which he does. He wants to see his girlfriends, whether how many likes she is giving to others other than me, or something like that. We don't know. I don't know. Well, there can be many reasons which are there. Many reasons why he wants the Facebook ID and passcode of the others. He will not change also, I believe, I'll tell you, he will not change. He will only basically tries to monitor each and everything, and he can proxy it on her name or his name or whatever it is, and then he can do whatever he wants on that particular ID also. There are some people who do. When you go to cyber crime incidents, most of the crimes are, especially in the teenage, are only these. Okay, using this, social media websites, they do some kind of harassment. So this is which is common in most of them. But when you come to the corporates, there can be financial gains. They will try to cheat the banking websites, or maybe trying to manipulate the OTPs, and then trying to transfer big amounts to their personal accounts or something like that. That is again is a crime in money laundering. Okay, and there is again a corporate's value. Suppose tomorrow there is a result which is supposed to announce. So what I generally do, if I try to figure out that there is a vulnerability in the server, in the database server, I can log in into the database server and I can change. If some of my persons are writing some kind of entrance exam or something, I can change the marks accordingly. Before the public, when the results are out, you will see your person is coming first rank or second rank or whatever it is. These things also happen. If there are vulnerabilities in see everything, their money is not the matter, but there is something else which is good. For everything there is a value. So this value gaining is more important. In this reconnaissance phase, they will only see active. It's not active information gaining. Sorry, it is active information gaining, and also some to a part of even passive information gaining also. They will ask about how is this person, is he okay, or to some other people. That is called as passive information gaining. So they do like such type of things. This is pre-hacking phase. Once they get some information at this particular stage, they will go to the second phase, which is called as scanning. Please remember this one, these 5 stages. If you are familiar and perfect in answering, they can consider, you know about something about ethical hacking. So here also, in second phase is very, very important. When you become a cybersecurity administrator, 90% of your time you do only this particular phase. 90% of the time you do only this. Because to avoid the third, fourth, fifth phase, you do second one properly. You do second one properly. If you don't do second one properly, there is a possibility of third, fourth, fifth phase, which happens. So this is also a pre-hacking phase only, which is called as scanning and enumeration. What is scanning? You verify all your websites or your infrastructure, or it can be routers or network or database or your code or your systems, which is their end devices, or maybe plugins, whatever it is, everything which you are written, everything which is a programmed, everything, this is called as IT infrastructure, needs to be verified, What type of verification? Verification from cyber criminals, whether this has any vulnerabilities or not. So this is a phase where even including, like I tell you, the access points which are there. Often people forget about the access points. I mean, like your Wi-Fi access points, they come into that and they enter into the network points also. Like they do port scanning, they do vulnerability. We have an exercise, we will do vulnerability assessment also. I would suggest you also to do that particular exercises. So a kind of attacks also we'll be doing, like a password attacks or something like that. Here there is no hacking again. This is again a pre-hacking. Scanning gives active information. What are all the ports which are open in the remote end? So these are, if a port is open on the other end, attacks happen directly. The third one is the hacking phase. This is hacking. Okay. So again, I say that ethical hacking and hacking are entirely different. It is not written on above or in any other certificate. It is written only based on your thinking. That's all. So ethical hackers always work in a constructive way, something good for the organization. That is how we should be. We all should be. And by coming to this training means you are basically agreeing, first of all, that you are ethically, speak. Vijay.
You have to connect to the network while we scanning.
Absolutely.
Without connecting, we cannot do scanning.
No, you will not enter into the system. You see, I know if I say www.google.com, I'm entering into the Google site. But if I do a ping, I'm not entering into the website. Right? We are trying to see whether the site is alive or not. We are only scanning. Okay. Like that, we can do port scanning also. We will learn about that.
Okay. In scanning, we have to enter into the network, right? First, we have to.
No. We don't enter into their network, remote network.
Sometimes attacks happen anonymously. How do they do that, sir? Do they use any proxy like thing?
Sorry, I couldn't get you. The voice is breaking.
Sometimes attacks happen anonymously, right?
I agree.
Most of the
attacks happen when you're in some of the specific reasons. One is that if you are not familiar with, I mean, the security concept. I mean, if you are the owner, that is one. Second thing, if you are not doing thoroughly the vulnerability testing from time to time. Second. The third thing, even if you have done all these things from time to time, if there are any new vulnerabilities coming across, then also you are helpless. These are what happens. The result of vulnerability is a risk that the attackers can attack your system. That is what which is meaning. In the first two phases, we are not gaining access to the system at all. We are not doing any kind of activity directly to the system by logging in. In the third one, if you are able to log in into the system, okay, then it is called as an attack. Anytime, whenever you are able to log in into the system, that is called as gaining access. Till you don't enter into the premises of that, premises means into that particular website, or by direct logging in without the authority of the owner, we don't call it as hacking. If you do anything without informing your owner about the website and logging in, then it is called as hacking. The only difference is if you are knowing the password, if you are logging in into the inside with the knowledge of the owner, it's not called as hacking. It is called as simply working. Okay. So now, once here in this phase, we will be going phase by phase also, no problem. So today we will cover some of the concepts in reconnaissance. Okay. So in this third phase, basically in gaining access, the breach of systems happen. They'll transplant Trojans. We will also understand about why the Trojan is required. Once the Trojan is planted, the door is opened. The door is open. The attacker can directly enter inside. I'll also show you how you can attack a Windows 7 system or a Windows 10 system, whatever it is. I'll show you. I'll show you in how basically how to write Trojans also I'll be showing. But the thing which I am saying is that whoever there sitting across listening to me means this is only for constructive purpose. You are agreeing to the terms and conditions that you will use only for constructive purposes. If you are having any attitude, all the members I'm reporting once again, if you are having any attitude about that you are doing for any destructive purpose, please leave this class. I don't have any objection. This is not meant for them, only for constructive. And even when you join the organization also, you will be given about 20 or 50 pages booklet. You need to sign each and every page that you are going to be a trusted, loyal in this organization. That is called as non-disclosure agreement, as well as a confidentiality, integrity, and availability document also will be there. So it is very clear that neither me nor faculties nor Gita management nor anyone is responsible if you do any type of mischief, because these are only for learning activities only. So okay, this is only a statutory. So as I mentioned this. So now once after hacking, what will this is called as maintaining access. This is called as post-hacking phase. Post-hacking phase. Here what it tries to do, okay, somehow I managed to hack your SBI account or an ICICI account. Then I saw, but unfortunately I could see only 250 rupees up to the 1000 rupees. So if I try to even remove or draw even 1 rupee also, you will come to know. And that is, I don't really require that 1 rupee. I didn't do all this hacking for 1 rupee or $1. So what I need to do, I'll wait. I'll wait. So that is called as maintaining access. I'll maintain. So what I do is that till the time you add more money, the time when you add about 1 lakh or 2 lakh something, then I'll try to take that money. Okay, till that time I maintain the access. Maintaining access means many advantages will be there for the hacker, is that he will come to know what is happening from time to time. That is one thing. Second thing is that it can be information or it can be money or it can be anything, name and fame, whatever it is. So this is again a post-hacking phase. And last but not the least is clearing tracks. Here in this phase, what he does is that if or whatever it is, post-hacking phase only, whatever it is, he will try to mask his identity. The hacker always try to cover his identity. He will never reveal his identity, whether he is facing a CC camera or whether he is facing any website or anything. So as I said that the IP addresses are recorded, it will be traced and it will be informed also. Okay. So if IP address is recorded, then he'll come to know. The administrator will come to know. So what he will do, the hacker will do, he'll immediately clear off all the log manipulation, all the wherever the records which are logged, he'll remove off all the alerts, the manipulation of logs, IDS alerts. IDS stands for intruder detection systems. So if any robber is coming and trying to hack whatever it is, he'll first cut the CC camera wire. Okay, otherwise no one wants to give their identity. No one wants to give their this thing. And then he will try to do all type of mischief. That is only a physical hacking. That is, I mean, it's not called as hacking, it's a physical robbery. But here what we do is basically through IPs only we manage, our ports we manage, and then we enter into the website and then we hack the resource. It will be more interesting. I'll also show you how you can hack a mobile phone also. I'll be showing you those things also. So the root of all these things is about the networking only. Everything is possible. So many of you might think that how can someone hack my mobile phone? Yes, it's possible. We normally do a lot of dirty things. Like we go to the websites, whatever we want. Okay, we download whatever the Play Store elements we want. Everything. We don't know whether it is a real thing or a secure thing. Just because simply someone has shown, we will download and then we will install. If we don't like, we'll remove it. In the same phone, you have your address book. In the same phone, you have lot of, documents. It can be even passcodes also. There are many people who write in the contact list, my Gmail password, my ATM PIN number. They'll write like that. You check, even your parents also, they write like that only. I have seen several people also doing like the same mistake. Sir, how do I remember that many passwords? So that's why I have written down. If anyone hacks your phone, it is simply understanding that you are locking the house and keeping the key there itself. I'll tell you, these are all some of the dangers which are there everywhere. And last, when something happens, then they run to the police station. This happened, that happened. What will the police do? He will lodge a complaint and then he will hang on for some more period of time. Then it will automatically get closed. You will not get your money back. It's very difficult. Okay. Anyway, that is different. So here there are 5 phases which we have: reconnaissance, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and clearing tracks. So now we will go ahead with the first phase, and then also we will try to touch the scanning phase. Okay. So these are pre-hacking, as I mentioned. See, hackers are of, like you can say, white hat. White hat means ethical hackers. We call it white hat. White. Okay, ethical hackers. Ethical hacker means they tell the management what they are doing. Sir, I'm doing this so and so activity to identify so and so. They need not report to all members, only to the concerned authority members. Then if they do, that's called as white hat. Black hat, they don't do anything. They just simply do it. They hack it. And they don't tell that they are doing also. They don't tell. Everything is unintentional. They will not tell anything. Gray is something mix of black and white. I mean that they tell some information to some important people and then they don't tell with anyone. That is gray. So black, white and gray, these things also, please understand this one. Is this clear about these phases? Any questions? I'll move ahead with the reconnaissance phase if there are no questions. So yeah. So their question from Manoj. Sir, for normal people, where can we make them aware of basic security? See, basic security tips are available everywhere, but only thing is that we are not ready to take. If someone is trying to, police department is telling, oh, wear helmet, wear so and so, wear do so and so, but will we do? No. Drive slowly. Whenever red light is gone, don't jump. They'll tell all these things. They will tell every day through microphone, but we don't do. Similarly, bank also will send hundreds of messages. Don't disclose OTP to others. Don't do this thing. Don't do that thing. Everything. But will we stop? Someone will call and say, I am calling from bank. We are upgrading your service. Please let me know the OTP which you have. We'll immediately tell. So these are all some basic things only. We have to use our IQ. There is nowhere where it is there, but enough documentation is there. So to become an administrator, you are learning this type of courses. How do companies trust cloud services? Yes, cloud services are trusted only. Because if we keep data in internet, it can be accessed by anyone. Yes, sir. So do you mean that cloud is completely internet based? Is it not intranet based? Like you go to a bank, ICICI Bank or maybe HDFC Bank or State Bank of India. Do they operate all their ledger accounting, everything through internet only? Like we do? Tanmay? Like we do? No, they don't do like that. They have a private network. Is this clear? Tanmay? They have a private network. You cannot access that. What you are accessing is only through internet. That too basic. About yourself only you can do. That too with authentication, passcode, OTP and many other things. That too limited. Very limited services they give. But you go to bank, you will have every service. But they are not connected to internet. None of your bank teller machines are connected to internet. They have to, there also the user goes and then they have to put their fingerprint. Then they have an RFID card. They have to keep that and then only they log in and then they do. And everything, whatever they create a record, a second one has to approve. In that way they do. Okay, that is what which you are learning. So the developer who creates a website needs to understand about the vulnerabilities first. Needs to understand. That is the reason why you are learning now. I will be speaking about vulnerabilities, how to record or how to trace the vulnerabilities. And what happens if you have vulnerabilities in the organization also. Is this clear, Nikhil? So Nikhil has asked me who will be blamed if there is an information leak from an organization. Yeah, information leak. So if you are recruited as a cybersecurity administrator, naturally you will be asked for a first-hand question. You will be asked first-hand question. What are you doing if something is going on? Where is the record? If something unintentional, if someone has taken purposefully without any notice, then at least you should have a methodology of how to catch that person at least. Right? No one can stop anyone stealing. Okay, if their intention is like that, naturally. See, I'll tell you, there are many instances where I have seen the promotion list is out. Once in a year, you get the promotion list. You know that your next fellow, who is your friend, close friend, maybe your childhood friend, he got promoted. He got promoted. Immediately, what is your intention? Immediately, will we accept it directly upfront? Hey, you, congratulations, you are promoted. Internally, there will be much grudge will be there. We will not express. We may say that, hey, yes, you are promoted. Thank God, you are my friend. I know, yeah. But internally, what is that fellow buttered his boss? He got his promotion. Now it is something I have to do. Either I have to leave this or now I cannot work in this organization. Immediately, internally, it will be burning. It will be burning. You know that? That is the intention. We always keep seeing that. And these things are monitored. These things are monitored. And that fellow, if his intentions has been changed, and it can even go to a criminal attitude, he may reboot a server, or he may delete the code which has been written by all the members in the what we call as the team. Something like that he will do. He will do, or he will try to damage something, or he will try to give the credit card information or something like that to the competitor or something like that, and keep his mouth shut because he wants to get some gain. His attitude is like that. His thinking has been changed. So these are all called as social engineering. Naturally, it's nothing. It's not. The only thing is that it has to be ethical. Second thing, it needs to be monitored. Every organization has all the monitoring. We may think that, oh, I have 100 ideas where I can bluff the organization. No. Every organization has a in-depth process. So that is why you will be recruited as a cybersecurity administrator to take care of such type of any unknown incidents which are coming across from time to time. It can be vulnerabilities in the software, or it can be something which are basic. See, here we write it for the clients. No worry. We don't do such type of physical activities. We never do that. We are learning cybersecurity. Is this clear? It's nothing blaming. It's basically taking care properly. Okay. So how can we secure a website? By doing thoroughly time to time vulnerability testing. Okay. So now I'll show you. Yeah, I'll show you by time to time you have to do vulnerability testing and scan across. There are vulnerabilities not reported. We will do that. We will learn about how to do vulnerability testing also. Okay. Now let me move ahead with what we call as the first phase, which we call as reconnaissance phase. Okay. So in reconnaissance phase, I'll not say this one. In reconnaissance phase, I will be explaining about some kind of information gathering. Like first thing I can show you, as I said, who is. Suppose if you want to know details about your friend who is in the US or something like that, I can tell you there are some people websites also. Okay, people search. Okay, in people search, if you go to pipl.com or something like this, and give any of your friend who is in maybe like US. Okay, this is mainly for US websites, investigation. People search, I think he has made a paid website, I think recently. So I will go for a different one which is there. People look up was also there. Play Google, anywho.com. Let me try. So give a name, maybe any of your friends' name or whoever is there in US as a citizen. I will try to give some of my name. Let me see if I get any information. If I get, okay, yeah, I have his details. Like this, you can get it. Like this, there is nothing which is called a secrecy. You can see his profile, his house address. See, you got half of the phone number also. You have half of the phone number. If he has any criminal records or something, will also be posted here. And also, if you want a little bit more, yeah, he is located in all the address which has been. See, you see this, and you can get the information also by a little bit of payment. In that way, they come to know the credibility of a person also. Credibility, whether a loan should be given, whether a vehicle loan should be, everything is available. Whether he has hit any vehicle and somewhere and ran away or not, all the information is available. but for that it's not free. Only base information will be coming as free. This is called as gaining information about a person, okay. So this is how it is there. Maybe if you want, I think you will get more information. You can see all the details which is there, criminal arrest records, because they want all these things to give some kind of credibility to a person. Based on that, the credit rating is given. In India, it's, I think the applicability is very less. But in other countries, developed countries, they get the information very easily. Okay. So like this, you can see many other websites also where you get information about the people search. Okay. This is again a reconnaissance. I'll tell you one more thing. Go to google.com and say one is web archive. Okay. Web archives. Okay. We also call as or maybe a web crawler, Wayback Machine. You will say this. Okay. You get a archive.org, web archives. It holds all the information about the past, how your website is. Every website information is available here. Go through this particular one, Wayback Machine. Go to this particular site. This is a very, very interesting thing. Suppose if you want to know how your GitHub website is there in 2001 or when it is started, how it looks like, I'll show you. www is your website, right? Like you can say, it's not only GitHub, you can go ahead with any websites which are there, any website. You can see from this timeline, your GitHub website started from 2001. Okay, till now it is there. Whenever you see the dark spots, means a backup of that particular day of the website has been taken. This is called as web crawlers. Is it legal? Yes, it is legal. Any website which is there in the internet domain, they can take a backup of your web page. Okay. So I'll see this one. In 2002, I had selected where is this? I think 27th. They had taken a backup of this particular GitHub website. Okay. You see this particular one, how it looks like, the website on that particular day. Okay, now you can see this. This is how your website looks. By this, you can understand what people are there on that particular day, whether he has genuinely reported or not. If someone says that, no, I worked from 2001 to 2004, okay, you can verify. So here the list is there, and here the technology is there, what technology they are using, everything you can figure out. You can see this. This is the website during 2001 or 2002. You can see this, all the data, and even though it is a little bit slow, but still you get the information. You can try for any other websites. I'm showing you because you are all belonging to GitHub. So you can see these are all the members or your faculty members who are been during 2002. So this is whether you want 2002 or 2004 or 2000, anything which is there is available. And also one more thing, by say right click and view page source, you can figure out what technology they have used. You can figure out very easily the technology. So you can also say that some people even post their revenues, achievements, client list, technologies, and their infrastructure also in their website during that particular time. So you can even figure out how they have grown across. This is also called as a reconnaissance phase, gaining information from this archive.org. Okay, Wayback Machine, which is there. So it's not only GitHub, you can ask any website. You want to see how Microsoft.com is there or when it has been started, you can ask. Or how Hotmail used to be there. You can ask what is this website and when it has been. You can get the history, records, and many things which are there, even though it is a bit slow because it has to come from, you can see from 97 onwards it is there, 97. You can see here, like if I want to know about in 98 how it looks like the Hotmail front page is, you can see, click this particular one. It is one backup which has been taken on November 11th. You should see the page getting displayed. It will pull out from the archives. So you may ask me, sir, how then without our knowledge everything is taken care? How? So again, if you do not want this web crawler to not to take this, but there is a methodology. How you can do, I'll tell you. So this is how the Hotmail used to be in the initial days. That is in 97, 98. It is plain HTML4, I believe, this one. You can see this page 4. You can see this, it looks like, yes, it is a HTML4. Very simple websites. Simple websites. That is how it looks. It used to be. It used to be. You can understand this one. The pre. Yes, I remember this one. When the initial internet launched, this is how this Hotmail used to be. And this is one of the primary mail providers who has come across. Hotmail and Yahoo.com are both providers. Gmail and all these things came across in 2003 and 4, not before that. Okay, so this is about Wayback Machine. Is one of the reconnaissance tool. So we saw about who is in all the websites. That is one. We saw about people search, and we saw about Wayback Machine. These are all, a kind of reconnaissance tool. Now I'll tell one more interesting thing which is there, which you might not have heard till now. How to do Google hacking. Again, I say Google hacking. So here, whenever I give some information, ethical hacking notes, I may get something, or PDF, something. If you say PDF means 1 or 2 documents you'll get. Okay, this is straightforward answers. Many people will not provide you easily, but I'll teach you one more thing. You can write that what we call a Google Docs, DORKs. Okay, I'll show you, which is called as Google Docs. What is Google Docs? Sorry, not here. Or you can also say Google hacking. So normally whatever you write it in Google, it will translate into a script and then it will forward to the search engine. So if you can write directly those codes and directly give a search engine, how to do? I'll tell you. If I want to have a websites which are having some songs or MP3 files, what do? I'm giving a type code called as entitle colon. I'm saying once again, please listen, entitle colon. This is the tag. Okay. Index of /mp3. If I say if I want to get Hindi means I'll get Hindi. I'll do that. Index of /mp3 Hindi means you can see, just click this particular one, you get all the songs. You go to a directory, maybe if you want year-wise, he has kept like this, so you can download each and everything. It can be songs or it can be even books also, whatever it is. See, this site is vulnerable. He has kept like that directly. You can download. You can click that. It will play. So in this way, some people even keep the latest movies also. So you see this one, everything is open. Everything is open. So you can click this one. The songs are there. This is only songs. You can even explore also. You can explore Hindi songs. He has Punjabi songs and he has Hindi single, something like this. All the directories directly placed. This is one of the website. This is one of the website when you have this one. Second one, like this, you can see this particular website. Okay, you can see all this MP3 songs directly here. Or some people may ask whether I can see this. You try all the things, movies. Okay, you want Hindi, you can ask, try. Some people, you see this one, Hindi movies. The website is there, web server is there. Be careful when you are doing all this. This is all. You can ask me whether it is legal or not. Yes, it is legal only because they don't have proper what we call as. Yeah, we can try. You try whatever you want. Testing. You can try testing on whatever you want. I'll tell you. This is first tag which I was demonstrating is only. I mean for in title. Okay, like this I can try. This is about some movies which are there. The directors which are placed like this. Index of legacy Hindi. Some people you can go and try. Okay, what are their images or something. Or if you want English movies, yes, you can try English movies or something like that.
Sir,
okay, these are all the things which are there. Yeah.
So what you're doing basically is that
Information
instead of
gathering.
showing all the HTML and CSS content, it's just showing the files available in a website.
From the website, web server itself. You are directly giving a code where you are pulling out from the web server as in a directory format. It is directly filtering out. Is this clear?
Okay, so how do you do it for a particular site, sir? Because we cannot be sure about Google results.
I'll tell you. If you know the site, you can give the site name. Or I'll tell you, I'll show you one more thing. This is about in title. In title. Like if I say in title, I mean PDF, you can ask ethical hacking. Okay. It will show each and everything. All these are PDF books only. You can see this PDF which are there. If you get it, it's okay. In title, sorry. No, not this way. PDF. Index of /PDF. Okay, ethical hacking. You'll get this ethical hacking documentation. All these are related to ethical hacking. Documentation, movies, all this thing. Now, next tag which I'm going to teach is in title is over. Is this clear about this in title? Okay. Now I'll show you another another tag of maybe file type. File type. Okay. I want a specific file type in the entire website. Suppose file type, okay, colon. This is a tag, file type colon. I can say PPT, okay, ethical hacking. Ethical hacking. Whatever is there in the website, PPT or PPTX, whatever it is, file type PPT, ethical hacking. So you can see these are all the PPT files. Just click this particular one, you can download. You can download a PPT file will come. PPT file will come. All these are PPT files only. Just click this one, you get a PPT file. Okay. So you get the sample templates, whatever you want, you can do. I'm not showing which website it is. I'm giving a command directly. In this way, these, information can be directly accessed from the Google. Now, if I want something, file type, XLS, okay, means Excel sheets, and inside is site. Your URL which you can. The third one which I am connecting inside column. I'll say inside is nic.in. All the government websites I want to get the Excel sheets. You can see this one. There is one. Okay, you can see this one. Corporate agents, something like this. Not inside, sorry, I have mentioned wrong. Site column, nic.in. So all NIC sites will be displayed. You can see this one. Okay, these are all the Excel sheets which are there. They have kept it in the public domain. It can be, you can see this app eset.nic.in. This is an, you can see the data and details also. Sometimes very confidential data also comes across. Okay.
So we can say in URL also, sir.
Sorry. Yeah, you can define the URL. You want to see how many Excel sheets are there or PPT files there in your GitHub, you can see that. Okay, file type. If you want to say PPT or PDF, okay, maybe site column github.edu. You can see that whether any PDF files are there or not. There is like Git, NHU, there is one GitHub, there are many files which are there. Curriculum vitae of working as an assistant professor. Okay, you can go through. I'm not saying to hack your website. Don't do that. Try in other things.
So how do we find out the subdomains in a particular domain, sir?
Sorry?
Any tag for finding out the subdomains, sir?
Yeah, this is the domain, right? github.edu. All websites are github.edu only.
Yes, sir. But how do we find out the subdomains of a particular?
It's there, right? It's defining right here. If you ask this one also, you ask the URL, it will show you.
Yes, sir. But this is showing me the PDF files, right? So I'm asking what.
I asked for PDF only here.
Yes, sir. I want the list of all the subdomains of a particular organization.
So that Google will it display? Google will not have record. Google will only place all the files in the websites. It has an index of all the documents. Whatever it is, it will display. We will do that in vulnerability scanning. Okay.
Sir, is it due to a lack of security that these are being visible, or is this just normal?
See, I'll tell you two things. Two things. First thing is what you have answered. Lack of security, I'm not the right person to answer. But one thing is very sure, if they want this document to be applicable for public, it is showing. There are some documents which are really necessary for the public. You are able to understand my point. So that's why they have placed. That is my intention. But there are some people who doesn't know about security, who are working as operators in the web servers or websites itself. They place it accordingly. They'll think that, okay, I can access from my home or I can access from somewhere else. But it is displayed from the Google site also, where anyone can hack the, get the URL directly. Some people may think that, okay, until unless if I share the URL, how will they come to know? I'll keep in subfolder, 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 something like that. Who will come to know? But it's known. It's known. So lack of security, whether this documentation is not supposed to be there in the website or not, is not my piece. It is the security administrator of GitHub or whoever owns the website should know about the thing. No, this particular file should not be there. This file, like if I say click here, okay, page not found, but the URL is cached. So that's why it is coming across. So the file is removed, but the URL is there. Okay, similarly like this, anything which is there, anything which is there. See, this is a report which is there. Some people may keep even the project reports which are there. That's what I think which is there, our accreditation cycle. Maybe this can be used for everyone, which is there. So, but thing is that the security administrator should know about the conditions, whether this should be there or not. As I mentioned that, like I'll say that file type XLS and site colon, as I mentioned, site colon, what is that, nic.in, which should contain password. Some people keep passwords in Excel files also. Let me see if there are anything. Drugs control department. So if you open these files, there can be some type, the URL will be there, username will be there, password will be there. So it is an easy way of going into that particular URL with username and password. Why should this file be there in drugskarnataka.nic.in? They are not supposed to keep. Who will certify all these things? Who will certify all these things? The administrator needs to take care of all these things. Whether it is there or not, I don't know. But it has come. Somewhere in the file, there should be the word called as password. That's why it has come across. That's why it has come across like this. Is this clear? Is this clear? So this Google really does damage to some of the people who are very clever in ethical hacking. They can get more and more information. So for more information, what you can do in Google itself, you say Google hacking. Okay, in Google itself, sorry, not Google hacking database. You say Google hacking. Okay, you go to Wikipedia. Wikipedia, you know, it's a very genuine site. Whatever we are doing is legal. Only thing, then why, see, if the fellow has lost somewhere on the road, who is to be blamed? Whether the person who has gained should be blamed or who has lost should be blamed.
Neither of them.
Sorry? Once again?
No, sir. My question previously was that, can we protect what files we can show in Google, sir?
That is next. That is next. First thing is that we are learning about reconnaissance phase. We have to identify that these are the vulnerabilities which are there. It's coming across. Thing is that needs to be protected. How to protect? We'll see in the third phase and fourth phase. Hacking. We are learning basically first. So here, what I'm seeing, what I have shown is this. These are the tags which are there, operator. In title, in URL, or maybe a site column, or in text. In text is also there. Search a text in a page to display, or many tags which are there. Please go through these things. I'm not showing all the tags, but if you go more and more, you can really understand this particular tags. Is this clear about this Google hacking? This is also one of the information gathering tool, reconnaissance tool. Very simple to understand. Very simple to understand. Okay. So now I'll be showing you one more important tool where you can have information gathering, like how to clone the website. You have your friend's website or maybe any other website, your corporate website, how to take a backup. Cloning, you can keep with yours. There are some people who do like that. They clone the website, they change the web pages, they say that, I have designed the website. They do like that. How to do that? Very simple. So just say there is a tool called as HT track website copier. You can see this one. Yeah, just download this particular one. Okay, installing HT track, or maybe you can download, where is this? You would just download this one. Very simple, very small one also. Okay, it is done. Just install this one. What it does, it basically makes a mirror copy of the website in your local hard disk. Okay.
Sir, each and every page in the website will be downloaded, sir.
Yes. Only the front end.
Then
Only the front end, not the back end.
okay, sir.
Front end of the pages which are accessible.
If we have any loopholes in that website, they can simply hack the main website.
This is, see, why this is mainly used is basically to take a backup of the copy. That is one thing which is true. Some people make use of the copy. They try to rename the changes, whatever the things, the name or so and so, and then they say that we have created a website similar to you, which is easier way of doing a website creation. Okay, I have created the website, sir. What is this? It looks so and so. They'll take some XYZ site in US or somewhere else. They'll show that I have created the website, even though they don't know the technology. That is what Indians do a lot using this tool. Second thing, you can have a backup of this particular. This is not a dangerous tool. This is basically a cloning tool. Okay, you can have a copy of this particular one. Okay, so now if I want to take a backup of any one of the website, I'll take maybe you can name a website. I can say that maybe startup companies, any. You see, any startup. There is some startup company which is there. Let me take. May not be, this may not have many pages which is there, but if there is anything, which is there, you can, backend will not be copied. So just copy the URL. Okay. So again, I'm telling you, whatever I'm showing is legal. It's not illegal. Okay. Project name is, I can say star or whatever it is. Maybe if I say Gita, name of this thing, and I can say next and provide the URL of that. This is one company which is there, and say maybe next. Okay, let's say next. So finish. So it is cloning. It's cloning. The data is coming now. So where it's coming, you can go. I mean, into the sites, C column. Maybe you see this. Where is this? My websites. Okay, Geetam is the project name. In this, you can see this page is getting downloaded. It will take some time. If the website is small, then it will download very fast. Otherwise, it will take more time, more pages. All the pages will be downloaded.
So does it download the subdomains of a site also?
Yes, everything. Which that from that page onwards, whatever are the sub pages, all the pages. It's not only index.php or HTML, but all the pages which are related to that, which will come with GIF files, or you can see these files are growing, or JPG files, everything. Okay, everything, all the files will be, it will be exact mirrored, same to same. Okay, the entire website you can take a backup of this particular one. This is again an information gathering tool. So for this, you need not ask permission with anyone else. Okay, anyone. So if you want any other backup also, you can, any other backup of any other website also. You can try any of your friends or something like that. I'm skipping now. It will come and come this one, this index PHP, the page, everything is there. It will open as a local file which will be here. Okay, you can try. Geetam and all this thing will be in GBs, the complete website. Okay, this is how you can clone a website, bring down the information, whatever it is. This is again an information gathering tool. I do not want to focus much time on information gathering, but now the most important one. I'm stopping. You can uninstall later also. Finish. Exit. You try that. I'm just giving an awareness. Yeah, any questions? So I'll tell you how you can make your site hidden for such dogs. I'll tell you how you can basically control from this type of activities. For that we are learning. So you know that any website is basically drawn from a web server. I'll tell you. You take githam.edu. Okay. So this is your first page. I'll tell you how you can stop these web crawlers. You have an option. I'll show you if it is there or not. Okay, I'll remove this one. Not this. Wait, I have too many things which are open, so I just want to close all these things. Give me just a second. Anyway, I will just tell you about this. There is a file called as, if I remember correct, we call it robots.txt. Okay, I'm just writing how you can basically manage this. I'm just writing here.
So that will lead us to the parent directory directly, right?
Yeah, robots.txt. Okay. So every web server should have a page called as robots.txt. Robots. Any website. Robots.txt. Just type that or followed with github. This is actually defining the crawler whether it needs to. Yeah, it has. So it has. You see this, there is a script. What it does, it mentioned that all user agents, like any agents, disallow. He has mentioned disallow, but he has not mentioned any directories or pages. So crawler can be allowed. Crawler can allow and take backup of these particular pages. So if you disallow : okay, sitemap so and so. This is small script. I can tell you how to stop this one. Create a robots.txt in the web server by mentioning these three particular. User agent means which user. It is asterisk. It is correct. So disallow / means from the root no one should access this particular website. From robots, web robots cannot access. So that's why prove that you are not a robot will come. Okay, so that if this is not there, then robots can allow. So this type of crawlers are also called as robots. So if you say disallow from the root directory, no, disallow so and so directory name also. If you say you have a directory called as admissions, something like that, admissions. You define that particular directory will not be crawled, or robots cannot enter into that directly. You have to prove that you are not a robot, and then you have to enter into that. So that web crawlers are engines which come automatically without having any unique IDs, without any, the robots which will be there. Okay, the message which will be coming, right? So that will not be allowed. And this sitemap, if you do like this, if you write the text like this, admission directory will be excluded from web robots. Is this clear? How basically you can go any website also. Okay. So if they have, like, even if I say rediff.com, okay, robots.txt. This is the way where they define. Here you see disallow /UAM, disallow /images. So these two directories are not crawled. Is this clear? This again a security fix what the administrators needs to know, how they can fix up this. What we call as from attacking from web robots. If you feel that robot should not come, you have to write that script in the web server group directory itself, where your index.html page is there. The file name is this clear? Okay, so that is
sir?
how, yeah.
So when it's just a matter of slash, why doesn't someone just give a slash while making the robots.txt page? I mean,
I couldn't get that.
I mean, sir, as you said in the robots.txt file, when a website is being created, when it's when all it needs is a slash, why don't just everybody keep a slash? Why do they leave it blank?
They should know, right?
I mean, without knowing, I mean, if they are creating robots.txt thing, they obviously will know that
they are not creating. They might have created and someone might have removed that.
okay,
it will not
sir.
be automatic. It will not be automatic. No website will create robots.txt automatically. The web server script is not robot. The web crawlers will be stopped if the robot.txt is there. Is this clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's good. So it's like this thing is the security administrator needs to define that robots should not come into my website. So in that way, if he takes care any specific directories, those specific directories are excluded. Otherwise, everything can be allowed if you say as a slash. You may say it is only a thing. That I can also say that the place where you are standing, maybe 1 feet below you, there is a gold mine. You may say that, how do you know, sir? I don't know. I'm only guessing. But still, it may be there. It may be there. So thing is that once if you know perfectly, then you will try to dig and remove this. Here also same thing. People will not come to know what is that robots.txt. Even if there is some file which has come across, remove that. In that also people will delete that. So if you know the importance, oh, because of this script, the crawlers cannot come inside. So I have to keep it in this way. Some people may say that no, robots are not accessing, remove that disallow script. So they will take up that. They want to do it for some special purpose also. We don't know. I'm not specifying anything about githam.edu website. It is general. It is general. Whatever is launched in the websites is in the public domain and everyone has equal rights to access the website. Only thing, you cannot make nuisance about that website. That is one thing which is very much mandated. The vulnerabilities are there. It needs to be managed. It can be addressed. And it can be fixed, especially on the public domain. So anyway, you will not be recruited for doing such type of activities in the public domains. No, especially for the client websites, from time to time, we need to figure out what are all the vulnerabilities which are there and try to fix a vulnerability, assessment from, and try to fix out the errors which are there. Okay, so this is all about, there are still more and more tools for, what we call as in reconnaissance. Okay, but still we will go ahead and go to the next phase, which is called a scanning phase. Because the phase in scanning is very, very important for us, because the vulnerabilities are really figured out in this vulnerabilities phase, second scanning phase itself. We have scanning as well as enumeration. Any questions before I start? Simple questions which are there. I did not read all the things which has been mentioned, but I hope that all the answers has been addressed for the questions which you have asked. Yeah, any questions, anyone? Okay, no doubts. That's good. That's good. If you have anything also, you can post tomorrow. Okay. Now coming back to the second phase, which is called as, please remember this one, the phases of hacking. We are moving ahead to the second phase, which is called as scanning. Here we need to understand about the live host, access point, policies, sniffing, vulnerabilities, port scanning, etc. A good amount of things. So this is the time which you spend 90% of your time, even in IT companies, are to see that the third phase should never happen. Our ideology is that third phase should never happen. So now how to basically move ahead to the scanning. But before that, there is something which we need to understand as a part of theory. Okay. So now, since we have learned about all these 4 layers TCP, It's good. It's good. So now let me also explain you about the what we call as the DA, how the websites basically understand. Of course, we have discussed this particular thing, like whenever a request has come across the ARP, so that ARP is forwarded it to the network layer. I mean, the network layer defines where the destination is. In the earlier stage, it was IP. Now I will just replace it as a domain name. It's a domain. So here for every IP, there is a domain name. Similarly, for every IP, there is a, MAC address. MAC address is, binded to a logical address with the help of ARP request. So from that IP address, we are basically taking care to the domain name. So it's not always that every IP, for every domain name an IP is required. It's not like that. Sometimes domain will be unique, IP address will be common. You can have multiple domains with a particular IP. For reverse resolution, I mean, if you ask for a particular IP should be tagged to an IP, domain name, then you need to have an IP address. Otherwise, not. Not all websites do have an IP address. Okay, but it can be in a shared pool also. It will be showing an IP, but that IP can be managed from multiple things also. Like we have many things which are there. So now in scanning, we need to know about the ports. So yesterday also, when I was showing you the TCP header or the UDP header, which is the TCP header, we saw a concept called as flags. The flags are nothing but like where is this? I just wanted to show you the three-way handshake. Yeah. So in this three-way handshake, we are communicating the communication with help of flags. Here also, if I want to know any information of a remote website, I use flags and gain the information. So primarily, this is one area. Three-way handshake is a popular way of understanding about the communication. The SYN starts and asks the receiver, hey, I want to have communication. And once the receiver sends an ACK, the SYN on the sender, S for sender and R for receiver, okay? Sender and receiver. The sender, what it does after receiving the ACK, he'll again send an ACK to, this is again an ACK to the receiver and communication is established, okay? Communication is established. Once the communication is finished, you can have a finish flag, either of these two. It's not that sender only should send to receiver to terminate them. Anyway, anyone can terminate this. This is a standard way of understanding about three-way handshake. You can see this first SYN, then ACK, then again the last is finish. There are two more flags which are there, which I mentioned. This is called as a priority flag for urgent as well as push, so that the resources allocation will be more. So RST is also there. If the receiver is busy, he can send either ACK or RST, the red button, which is the red. No, I am busy. Reset. We also call as reset. So now using these flags, using these flags, I am going to make use about how I will understand about the remote side. I mean, the information. What type of information am I really trying to gain from others? It is primarily, one thing is the IP address, which I will be knowing it even with help of ping or ICMP. The second thing is maybe I'll be trying to figure out what are all the open ports at the remote end. From the other side, what are all the open ports? And also, I will try to figure out what is the operating system of the website which he is using. So these are all some of the areas, some of the things which, I mean, every hacker will try to figure out at the first and preliminary stage. So we have a tool called as Nmap. Nmap is a very, very popular scanning tool, which is available openly also by Zenmap, or you can say download also Google, and it is free. Otherwise, I can share that Zenmap also tool, Nmap download. You can say simply for Windows, or if you have a Linux called as Kali Linux, because tomorrow onwards I'll be showing you on Kali Linux, or you can have Parrot also. You can download this particular one. In Kali, you have all these tools inbuilt. What you can do is that you can simply download this Nmap, okay? And then you can install this one. You can have this stable version is there. It is downloading about something like 26 MB is there, okay? So this is the binaries. So once this is installed, you can install. And what this Nmap do? Nmap is a port scanning tool, enumeration tool basically. What does it do? It does many things. You can have banner enumeration, or I mean, to get, we call it OS detection is nothing but banner. You can detect the operating system. You can even detect the open ports and all these things. Once if you know the open ports, you can really understand and move ahead to the next step. How you can try to hack. If there are no vulnerabilities figured out, all the ports are closed, the website is secured. You have to go ahead with next level, which is called any application vulnerabilities which are there. In the first level, we see the system vulnerabilities, operating system vulnerability, or maybe the port vulnerability which are there. There are number of vulnerabilities are of different types. Okay, first, this Nmap will not tell about anything related to your application vulnerabilities. Application vulnerability may be in your PHP, maybe in your C programming, maybe in your backend SQL. We will be seeing all this time. Those are called as web attacks. We will do that. It is very slow. So what I can do is that I can really install, which I already have a copy. Okay, where is this? Images. You can download that particular thing. Otherwise, please see this particular one. I need to show something on this particular one. Software. I mean, where is the CUH? I have the images. Okay. I mean, open with RAR. You can see this hacking tools. Sorry. All the tools I have kept it in one folder, and Nmap here it is there. I'll just explore and extract on the desktop. One go it has done. So here it may take a little bit more time, and I'm closing this particular one, or I'll minimize this particular one. If you are good enough, see this is still downloaded only 2.3. Okay, I'll cancel this one. If you want to do, you can do this along with me, but I will install here. So this installation has 6.25 setup or 6.47. I agree. Say next, install. It will take approximately a minute's time. And it may install even PCAP, that WinPCAP. That is the driver for network. I mean, network driver also. Let me see. I agree. So this WinPCAP is getting installed. So next and finish. Yeah, basically this is not an ethical hacking course. We are trying to learn about the essentials on cybersecurity. So I have installed this particular one, but the important tools I'm showing you, because you'll better understand that. So here this Nmap GUI is also there. Once it's installed, you'll get this one. Otherwise also you can work in CMD also directly. Here Nmap -help means you will see all the commands which are working across. Nmap is installed. I hope everyone is following me. Nmap is again is second, I mean the second phase tool, which is scanning tool, which is there. Yeah, yes or no? Can someone say following? Anyway, it's okay. So here, if I want to scan any website, okay, if I want to scan any website, I can go from CPROM, or even I can do from Nmap also. This particular GUI tool also I can use. So what I'm going to do, Nmap, maybe I can say www.bsnl.com. It is again, you are free to use, no problem. No one will attack you. This up to this first two layers. Okay, that's good. That's good. So I'm trying to scan bsnl.com. Let me see if there are any open ports to that particular website. So you know that there is a website. So let me see if there are. You can see this port. This website has, I mean, 53 port open, 80 port open, 443 port open, are closed. So port number 80 is normally open because of the website. It's normal. That is not a big thing because it is a website, port 80. Port 53 is also closed. It is open, but it is closed. I mean, closed means they have purposefully, the service is installed, but they have stopped the service. It is installed. The support is there, but they have closed the port. They have closed the port using a firewall. Okay, you can see this one. HTTPS is also there. I mean, it's like a HTTPS secure website is also there, but it is closed. restricted. It's firewalled. Only specific IPs can go through this one. This is safe. This is safe. Like let me scan my website. It's not my website, my local router. 192.168.1.1. This is my router. Let me show you. I'll show you because I have kept purposefully some ports open. Let me see. You see here, whether it is an IP or a website, you can see this report. You see this port number 21 is open. Port number 80 is open. Port number 443 is open. Port number 99 is also open. You can see many ports which are open here. Okay. Port number 84, 83 is also open. Port number 88 is also open. Port number 5656 is also open. Okay. So someone is asking about this particular one. Let me try. Let me try. No problem. You can also try from your end and map. It's not, I think, dot or something like that. This comma is given. Is a website. Website starts from www or http or something like that. It's not. It's not. So anyway, let me complete this one. So once if you figure out, oh, there is an FTP port open. So what I can do, I can load an FTP software. If it is there, yes, it is open 192.168.1.1. I can, if I know the username or password, I can enter into the server directly into that particular thing. But I'll tell you, FTP port is vulnerable. Port number 21 is vulnerable. There are some okay ports, like port number 80 is okay. Port number 443 is okay. So I'll now give you the list of vulnerable ports. In your interview, they may ask you, can you list some vulnerable ports? What is vulnerable? Attackers may have a potential gain or access to your site using that particular ports. So here, if I tell these are the ports, where is this? Okay, you can see this. These are the vulnerable ports. Port number 21, port number 23, port number 25. Okay, are vulnerable. I don't say 80 is vulnerable. Port number 80 is www. Port number 21 is nothing but what we call as FTP. Port number 23 is nothing but telnet. Vulnerable. I strongly discourage this particular port. And port number 25 is SMTP. This is also strongly discouraged. We have secure sites for this one. Port number 110 is nothing but POP3, which is also called as Post Office 3. IMAP is something, I think 141 or something like that, which is there. And also 161 is SNMP, network management. These are all vulnerable ports. So services can be kept, but under monitoring. Because the only thing why vulnerability is there on these ports, the data flowing across these ports are not encrypted. Why this is vulnerable? Because the data crossing or passing using the above ports, okay, above ports are not encrypted. Suppose if I say 443, it is encrypted. HTTPS is encrypted completely. Like if I say about 22, secure shell, it is encrypted. You know about cryptography, right? In your final year or third year, you might have studied about cryptography. There is some algorithm based on that. It is encrypted and the data is transferred. But in these ports, I'll be showing you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I expect everyone to be on time. Please listen this one. I'll show you the data capturing across FTP or data capturing across telnet and see how you can hack these particular servers or services. Okay. So this is one important area. Yeah, any website which you got? Okay, and map. So your friend is requesting something. Let me try. So nmap. Oh, this says it is. This is dot comma. So try that. You can try. If you see that any vulnerabilities which are there, yes, you have to close the ports, especially using firewall or something like that, or keep the service dead if you are not using. Shut down the service if you are not using. So it is taking a little bit more time. Let it take. This is clear. You can see this SSH is there of port number 22. So if SSH is there, I can tell you where is this putty. I can log in to this particular site directly. You see this one? Where is this SSH? or putty. So if I say putty from run, the port number 22 is there. I can say paste here and say where is this dot, okay, and I say open. I should see a login prompt coming across. I should see a login as. So I can log in, and if I know the username or passcode, yes, it is done. I do not know how much secure it is, but SSH is not considered as vulnerable, but if it is not used, it has to be closed. It has to be closed. You can see that login prompt has come. By seeing the port itself, we can identify. By seeing the port itself, we can identify. HTTP and HTTPS is not a big thing. It's not a vulnerable thing. It's a website which is there. So these things are not vulnerable. Port number 22, if it is not required, it's okay. But if it is there, I'm not saying this is vulnerable, but users may try to enter if there is no password. If there is no password, especially for the users, it can be a guest password or a temp password and enter into the servers. Is this clear? Is this clear? Okay, in this way you can, but there are some certain scripts. Okay, we will learn one by one about that. But how to know the operating system? I'll tell you how to know the operating system of the remote end. I want to know what is the operating system which is run on a Gmail server. We will try how to do that. Nmap -O, capital O, will display the banner basically of www, maybe rediff.com, any website. Sometimes it can enumerate, sometimes it cannot enumerate also. Try. There is no wrong in trying. There is no, it will tell you what operating system it is. That is called as banner enumeration. It will tell you. So here you can see this one, rediff.com. It is trying to scan the ports which are open is port 80 and port 443. Just guessing, it is a Linux operating system with 2.6, 86% gas. Aggressive to OS gas, it is Linux operating system. Definitely it is a Linux. Like let me try with maybe what we call as hotmail.com. You can try. Probably you can see a Microsoft or Hotmail also may be hosted on a Linux server also. We don't know. Let me see. Or sometimes they may monitor and they'll block these particular things in the firewall. So here you see port number 53 is closed, 80 and 443. OS is, what is this? OS, aggressive OS guesses is AVTech room alert 26 watt environmental monitor 88. I think there is something else, a customized operating system where this Hotmail is running. You can try that OS detection perform. In this way, scanning is performed. So now I can come to know that the target operating system is running on a Linux server or a Windows server. That is one. I'll also come to know by seeing the website what is the technology which he is using, whether PHP or maybe JavaScript or something like that by simple. Okay. And also I'll come to know if he is having an SQL server or not also. That also I'll come to know very easily. The backend 3306 port or something like that, if it's open, then I can easily come to know that there is a backend in that. That is secondary. If there is no 3306, there is no backend. There is no backend. Maybe the backend can be something else, but not MySQL. If MySQL is there, we can easily figure out. Okay. I could see the vulnerable ports, the ports which are opened also from this particular. Scanning gains the information of so and so type. Then once if I come to know that the target system is a Windows, I will try to create Trojans. I will try to create Trojans based on the target. If it is a Linux, the operating system differs. If it is Windows type of operating system, Trojans will be creating. So tomorrow will be a very, very interesting phase for you. Please tell your friends also who have not attended. Yes, we are listening something very new concepts and it is very interesting. And then bring them. They will also learn many things, at least for the sake of general knowledge. And you have, some of you have asked how to protect this, how will I get information? All these things will be answered. All these things will be answered. So I think any questions from you all? Any questions from you all? So today we have gone fundamentals about cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. We saw about INA. We started with INA. We saw about INA in that what is this? The role of INA. How the domain IP address space is allocated to the complete RIRs and LARs. We saw all those things. And then we also saw about the tool called as WHOIS. We have gone through this RN website or also even Epinic website. From our website, how to identify my service provider and how to gain the information maximum. Tomorrow I'll also show you, email tracing, how to trace the email from the source. I'll show you that. It's not a big thing. Okay, and then we have discussed about some of the important what we call as the tools in Reconnaissance. We saw about Google hacking. We also saw about history track. We saw about people search, and we also saw about web archives. Sorry, not archives. Archives, Wayback Machine. And yes, we also saw about how to basically take remedial action using robots.txt. Okay, that is one. And then we have gone even to the next phase, which is called as scanning phase. Scanning phase, we saw about a tool called as Nmap. There are various type of scannings. Preliminarily, I have shown you about how the port scanning can be done, and this has been displayed. And also the banner scanning also we have done using Nmap. So the second phase, it's not scanning is a very large phase. Tomorrow I'll explain about what is a vulnerability and who keeps track about the vulnerabilities globally. Where do I get the vulnerability database? So I'll speak all those things. And based on the vulnerability, see, if I standardize something or if you standardize something, it cannot be taken as a global standard. Then who is going to take care? There are number of elements like operating systems are there, applications are there, packages are there, patches are there, firmware is there. Okay. Not only that, there can be elements like routers, elements can be as simple as mobile devices, many things which are there. Anything when you have a code can be vulnerable. That is in short, which is there. I'm saying that is can you have a particular thing? Can my power adapter have? Can my keyboard is vulnerable? Can my monitor vulnerable? No, those things are not. Those doesn't have any code. If any code is there, then it can be vulnerable. We will explore first some of the operating system vulnerabilities, and second thing, maybe if time permits, we will also go through the application vulnerabilities like web attacks and attack vectors. Also we will define major type of attacks. Also we are going to discuss major type of web attacks, because these are the questions which you may get. And of course I also have wait, let me show you the questionnaire for what we call a cyber security. Until unless you take more time, okay, it will be very difficult. Cyber security interview questions, there are a good amount of questions. There is a book also. Otherwise I had cut short some of the elements and then made it to cyber security interview questions. I can share this. This is also same book. I cut short into the questions which are very, very important. I can share these things also. Like you see this one, what is cyber security and all these things also, which one is better, what is SSL, what is the difference between a threat vulnerability. We will discuss all those things. Okay, how do you report risk, what is a firewall, what is scripting. You will see all those things, okay, one by one. And there will be good amount of technicalities. Some questions may be related to networking also will be there. Just go through these things. Okay, so get ready for vulnerabilities, and maybe this is a major one. And then we'll also see about the hacking methodologies, web attacks, etc. Yeah, any questions from anyone before we log off for today? Yeah, I'll share the notepad, whatever I have given. I'll share that. I'll keep it in day 4. Okay, so getting the access to the system, we need the system's private IP or public IP. So if you are accessing through internet, public IP. If you are accessing through local area network, private IP. Okay. Okay, no doubts. So that's fine. So please go through the concept. And one more thing which I want to say, that if you can download this Kali Linux, that is also good. You can practice later. But I'm not saying this is mandate. It is about 4 GB. It's about 4 GB. I'll show you the software. If you want tools also, it is about 4 GB. If it is a regular classroom, then you can do all these exercises related to. You see this. The new one is Parrot. The new one is Parrot, which is a 4.2 GB, or even you can go for Kali also. This one Kali is there. So this one about 2.6 GB, which is there. Either of these two, but alone will not work. Along with that, you have multiple tools also is coming approximately 4.5 GB. So everything is good, but please watch. Please watch. And for a safer side, I will be doing all the exercise on my Windows 7 machine. This is my Windows 7 machine. You can see this one. Windows 7. I have launched on my VMware. So you can see this particular one. I have launched on my VMware, so that safely I can do this exercises. Like there can be some questions on steganography, etc. Also, we will learn all those things also. Okay. various type of takeover attacks, password attacks, and all these things in this particular Windows 7 system. Okay, by the very reason is I do not want to what we call as disrupt the services in Windows 10 in the system which I'm running. So I'm safely doing all the things in my VMware. Okay, so even I prefer everyone to do only on VMware. I can share the notes and this thing. Will Kali live also will work? Yes, you can try. You can try. But it may not have the complete set of tools, but Nmap and all these things will be there. I'll also be showing you Wireshark, and also I'll be showing you something kind of spoofing attacks and all those things also I'll be showing you. Okay. So it will be definitely for the cyber security enthusiasts, definitely it will be interesting. It will be more interesting. If you all are helping me, I can show you more experiments. Okay. That's all from me for today. If there are no questions from you, we will meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay. Thank you.